The shir is being given L'Zecha Nishmas Rachaleya Bas Rav Chaim Tzvi. We have been studying a Perek in Tehillim Kuf Lamed Hey, which is also one of the most beautiful prakim, and clearly is connected to the previous prakim, namely Kuf Lamed Dalid, and then we have Kuf Lamed Hey, followed by also one of the most famous of all prakim in Tehillim, Kuf Lamed Vav. In the last year, what we had done, we had given out sheets, and we had shown how, in terms of its schema, in terms of its overall structure, the Perek can be divided into a number of possibilities. One is to divide the Perek into two segments, namely, the first segment consists of the first 7 psukim, Hallelujah, Halu Hashem, Hashem, Halu Avdei Hashem, and goes all the way through Pasuk Zayin. Mala Nesim B'Ktei Haaretz, Broken Lamata Asa, Motzi Ruach Me'Otzosav. The second segment then begins with Pasuk Ches, that describes the handiwork of Hashem Yisbarach, both in terms of what He did in Mitzrayim, the Osos Samosim, Makas Pechoros, the fact that Hashem was responsible for smiting Melachim Matzumim, all the Mamlechos Canaan in Pasuk Yud Aleph, and as a result, we were Zoche to inherit Eretz Yisrael. Subsequently, we, in effect, compare the handiwork of Hashem to Lahavdil Milhavdi Abdolos, the handiwork of the Umos HaOlam. As we mentioned in the course of this Perek, that in Pasuk K, Ki ani yadati ki gadol Hashem, the Shem of Hashem is great. V'Adoneinu, Adoneinu in the sense of Hashem was the sovereign, master juridically of the universe, legally the proprietor, Mikol Elohim. He's beyond any of the other gods that operate, and here they are described as well in the second segment, starting from Pasuk Tezvav, Atzabeim Kesef Ezahav, Masei De Adam, Pelahem Lo Yidaberu, Anayim Lo Liyiru. These are psukim that are also familiar to us from the Hallel that we say on Rosh Chodesh, on Yom Tov. Oznayim lehem lo yazinu, pasuk Yud Zayin, afen yeshuach b'fiyem, k'mohem yoseim kol asher boteach b'alem. Those that believe in them, those that trust in them, obviously, are going to be led to futility. And the Perek ends with the last 3 psukim, Yates, Chaf, and Chaf Aleph, describing the different groups of people that are involved with giving a bracha to Hashem Yisbarach, Beis Yisrael, Beis Aharon, Beis Halevi, and Yirei Hashem. And it ends, Baruch Hashem Mitzion, Shochen Yushalayim Hallelujah. So this is the 2-segment division. Essentially, the distinction is along the following lines. The second segment, starting from Pasuk Ches, deals with Hashem as He appears in history, the handiwork of Hashem as expressed through His interaction with the world at large and throughout the millennia, that Hashem Yisbarach has maintained and sustained the ongoing existence of Am Yisrael, of Klal Yisrael, and that's the second segment. The first segment clearly focuses on the fact that we were chosen, and we have the intellectual cognition that Hashem is Gadol, V'Adoneinu, His sovereignty is beyond anything else. And the Pasuk Vav that we already mentioned the last year, we referred to Ramban in Chumash, Vayar Elokim es kol asher asa b'nei tov me'ed, kol asher chavetz Hashem asa. B'shamayim v'aretz v'yam b'chol tahomos. Again, the term asa is a reflection of the bria of Hashem Yisbarach, the creation, and certainly we mentioned that in effect this Perek really has a dialectic to it. It has a dualism. There are 2 ways of coming to Hashem Yisbarach. One is by examining the Bria, as the Rambam writes at the beginning of Hilchos Yisrael Torah, where one sees the majesty, the beauty, the minutiae, the detail, the wonders of the universe. One is automatically drawn to Avas Hashem and ultimately to Yiras Hashem, and that's why we describe in the first segment of this Perek that aspect of the Bria. Kol asher chavetz Hashem asa, b'shamayim v'aretz v'yam b'chol ta'omos, pasuk Zayin, Mala Nesim B'Ktei Haaretz, Brokim Lamoto Asa, Motzi Ruach Me'Otzosav. So here we have a rather vivid description of some of the aspects of the Bria of Hashem Yisbarach. And that's one way to come to Hashem Yisbarach. And the second segment, as we just mentioned, describes the handiwork of Hashem throughout history. We will be focusing on this idea, on this dialectic of dualism, a bit later in the Shir, a bit more extensively. A second way of dividing the Mizmor is, in effect, by dividing it into a group of 5. And here we mention, when one divides it into 5 segments, one can see actually all the elements. Firstly, Psukim Aleph through Dalid, we praise Hashem that Hashem chose us as His nation. And then Psukim Hey all the way through Zayin is the Gadlus Hashem in the Bria that we just described a moment ago. In the next segment, segment 3, Ches all the way to Yedalid, we have the Nisim that Hashem performed regarding the entire episode of Abdus Mitzrayim, B'tzias Mitzrayim, and as well the Nisim in the conquest